2024 is set to be an interesting year for the food and beverage sector. Last year, we had exports of food, drinks, and horticultural products of around 16.3 billion euro from Ireland. So the area is certainly robust. However, we have other issues such as geopolitical issues, being the wars in Ukraine and Gaza and unrest in the Red Sea, which all impact on imports and exports. The hospitality sector is also going through a shaky period as we've got the potential expiry of the debt warehousing scheme, although the government has signaled flexibility on that. We also have the increases in VAT rates that came in last year, and we have the increase in the minimum wage. So this is all going to impact hospitality sector across the board. Interest rates, it's unclear whether they are going to be cut this year, and views seem to be quite mixed in that. We also have an election this year. We have elections at European level and we have them in Ireland. So that will obviously affect policy as well. In Ireland, the agri-food regulator was introduced in December 2023. This regulator is going to oversee transparency and fairness in the agri-food supply chain. They'll also be responsible for enforcement of unfair trading laws in the agri-food space. So we can expect to see some enforcement coming in the near future. Sustainability is certainly going to continue to be a driving force in the sector. We have in February this year the introduction of the deposit return scheme for bottles, which are plastic bottles, and also aluminium and steel cans of certain sizes. So producers are going to need to have the relevant logo on the products, and consumers will pay a deposit when they buy these products and then get that deposit back when they return them at retailers through reverse vending machines or manually. We also have the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, and this imposes a number of obligations around reporting on sustainability. Our corporate governance team has been working with clients as they navigate how to comply with this over the next coming years. Greenwashing continues to be a big issue. We have just introduced in the EU as of January this year, the directive empowering consumers on the green transition. And that is going to restrict a lot of greenwashing style claims that companies might otherwise be making. Its companion directive, the Green Claims Directive, is expected to be adopted in March 2024, and that will further impose other restrictions and obligations around green claims. So this is certainly something that does impact companies in the sector across the board. These directives will need to be implemented within 24 months in each member state. So it's certainly something to watch for in the coming year. In the alcohol industry, the Public Health Alcohol Act has imposed a number of restrictions and new obligations in relation to advertising and pricing of alcohol. We've had the mandatory labelling, which has been introduced, and it's going to come in May 2026. And this is going to impose certain mandatory warnings on alcohol packaging and bottles, such as there will be warnings in relation to cancer and also in relation to drinking alcohol while pregnant. So this is something that we've been working with clients with to get them prepared for this change. This act is also going to make a lot of other changes. There are some uncommenced sections in the act, and they're going to have some wider impact in relation to advertising of alcohol products. So not only will they need to have mandatory warnings on their advertising, but the advertising will also need to be more factual in nature. So this is going to really impact how alcohol companies face their promotion and advertising strategy in Ireland in the coming years. In the employment space, we had the Domino's Pizza decision, which came in October last year. And this decision held that a number of Domino's delivery individuals were actually employees for certain tax purposes. And this obviously will have a knock-on effect for clients in the food and beverage industry who work in the gig economy. Also, there we have auto-enrollment coming in relation to pensions. So that's going to impact companies across the board. So our employment and benefits team are working with clients on these and other issues in the coming year. On the mergers and acquisitions front, 2023 was a steady but not stellar year in the food and beverage industry. However, there were a number of significant transactions that did involve Irish companies in this space. For the coming year, we do expect that there could be some more significant transactions as there are There's a lot of capital still out there, and there's a lot of strategic buyers in the market. However, we'll need to balance this against the other challenges that we've already mentioned. So overall, 2024 looks like it's going to be a very busy year in the industry. And we look forward to working with our clients as they work through the various issues as they arise across the board.